steps to safely and properly tack up a horse in Western style. The steps we'll be showing you will ensure the safety of not only you as the rider, but the horse you will be riding.
This video isn't just for people that have never tacked up a horse before. Even if you tacked up a horse before and just want some refreshers, this video is for you. We're going to go through step by step, start to finish, demonstrating everything on this pretty bay paint.
To start the process off, you'll have to tie your horse in a quick release knot. I'll show you how to do this. So you start by looping this around once, going under, over to make a circle, and then bringing a loop up and through, and pulling tight, then adding your slack through so you can pull on it when you're ready to let go. The next step in the process is to grab all of the tack materials you will be needing. To begin, we will grab the saddle pad. This is a saddle pad. Make sure they're all in close range for once you're done grooming. Next, we will grab the bridle. Make sure you have two reins on this. And last, we will grab the saddle with a cinch, latigo, and breast collar. Next, we will grab our grooming materials. We will need a stiff brush to brush the body, a mane and tail brush, this should be self-explanatory, and a hoof pick to clean out the feet. We will begin with brushing the body. You'll want to make sure you remove all the dirt from the horse's body. We'll next move on to the mane and tail brush.
You're going to make sure that all knots are out and you're brushing thoroughly. And you're going to move through the mane, and also same thing, make sure there's no knots and you're brushing thoroughly.
You will then move on to the hooves, making sure they are free of rocks and debris. And that's the whole grooming process.
The very first step, and one of the most important steps, is you're going to apply and position your saddle pad. This is very important that you position it correctly, otherwise your horse may be uncomfortable. Your saddle is going to sit incorrectly, which can then cause your horse to buck or bolt. You're going to take your saddle pad and align it so that the front of the saddle pad is in the middle of your horse's shoulder. You're also going to make sure that the middle of the saddle pad is in the middle of the top of your horse.
The next step is to place your saddle on top of the saddle pad on your horse's back. You want to make sure that this is sitting in the middle of their back. You then want to lift up the saddle pad just a little bit so it does not pinch their withers. Then you're then going to drop the stirrups and then drop your cinch. Over a little bit. Easy. You're then going to grab your cinch from underneath your horse and loop your latigo through the D-ring on the cinch. Up to the D-ring on your saddle. Back down to the D-ring on your cinch. And back up to the D-ring on the saddle one more time. You will then pull it through like this. Go under the opposite side of the D-ring, up, and pull back down towards the ground. That is the knot that you use to ensure your cinch will not come undone. The next step in the saddling process is putting on your breast collar. You're going to take this strap and attach it to this D-ring here. You're going to loop it up to the last hole, then put the end through this loop to ensure that it doesn't come undone while you're riding. We're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Bring your loop up through here, pull it back down, Make sure you're on the same hole as the last side. Back down through the loop. We're then going to move down to the attachment to the cinch. You want to make sure that you bring this down and attach it to the front D-ring. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that it's not too tight that it's going to restrict your horse, but it's not so loose that they could get a hoof stuck. The next step we're going to do is attaching a wither strap. This helps hold up your breast collar. You're going to begin by attaching one side of your wither strap to the first D-ring on your breast collar, not on your saddle. Then going to put it over the horse and go over to the other side and repeat that step. You're then going to attach to this D-ring as well. This will bring up your breast collar a little bit so it's not sitting too low, but should not dramatically change anything. The next step in the process is collecting your bridle and reins. You want to make sure that your reins are not tangled up. You'll then want to put the reins over each side of your horse's neck, making sure that the rein corresponds with the side of the horse's body. You will then want to loosen off the halter and put it around the horse's neck so they don't get away if they try. You're then going to hold your hand like this, making sure that the chin strap does not get stuck in the mouth with the bit. You're then going to take the bit and put it into the horse's mouth. You may have to stick your thumb in their mouth to get them to open their mouth for the bit. You will then take the bridle and put each side of the ears under it. Once you've done that, you want to make sure that their tongue is not stuck under the bit and that their chin strap is in a good position. You will then go under and do up your throat latch, this piece here. You will take this part and put it through here. You'll want to do it up so you have about 2 finger lengths underneath right here, so that it's not too tight on the horse's throat. You will then put it through this loop so it does not come undone. And you will then undo the halter and attach it to the fence post so it does not get caught on their feet when they walk away. And that is how to properly place the bridle on your horse's head. The next step in the process is to ensure that all of your tack is tight enough. We'll begin with the bridle. You first want to check that the bit is not sitting too tight on the horse so they'll be throwing their head a lot. Next, you'll want to check that the chin strap is not too tight. We'll then move on to the throat latch, where you'll want to be able to still fit those 2 fingers underneath of it so their throat does not feel contained at all.
The positioning of everything is also very important. You want to make sure that your bridle's positioned just behind the ears, looks comfortable on the horse, it's not throwing its head as if that could be uncomfortable. You're then going to check the tightness and the positioning of your saddle. You're going to make sure that your breast collar is loose enough, but tight enough that your horse has enough mobility. You're going to make sure that your wither strap is also attached on both sides and tight enough that it just brings your breast collar above the shoulders of the horse. Then you're going to move to your saddle, which is very important, as if your saddle is too loose, it could slip and you could fall off and injure your horse, and you want to make sure that it's tight, not too tight, that it makes your horse uncomfortable, which could risk the safety of you and also the horse, as your horse might bolt or buck or do something dangerous. The tightness of your cinch needs to be that you can just fit 3 fingers between the cinch and the body of the horse. If it needs to be tightened, you can take the last loop of the cinch, pull up, feed through the extra of latigo, and pull the latigo down again. You also want to make sure that everything's positioned straight to ensure that it's ideal comfort for the horse before you go riding.
Now that you have successfully tacked your horse in a Western style and ensured the safety of both you and your horse, there are a few main points to take from this. 1 is the grooming process, 2 is the positioning and tightness of your tack, and 3 is to examine all tack to ensure safety. The 3 main elements of this video were: tie the horse in a quick release knot, always groom your horse before tacking, and always check positioning and tightness of tack. You are now able to go out and enjoy your ride.